Are we recording?
Тварь.
We are having a wonderful first day of shooting.
Когда эти песни станут памятью, когда исчезнет муза, закроются глаза, и я полечу туда, где музыка моя. Строки нас составили, мир, чтобы не поделить. Уходи, тела раздеты, ночью вопрос, где ты, утром вопрос, где я, почему нас нету.
Gentlemen, I have a strange appearance indeed. That was a little bit chaotic start. At the same time, I look like a true owner of Range Rover. Didn't have my sleep out, got red eyes, 3-day stubble and shaggy. I truly don't have enough time to look after myself lately, as I'm literally living in a repair shop. The thing is, having shot the first part of Pontoreska, we dragged the car in a yard, and I honestly tried to repair it on my own. I didn't understand a thing. All the wires were on their places, and everything was plugged in, but symptoms remained the same. As I have bought this car recently, I don't even know for sure where to look. Yes, the 60-second engine turned out to be a wonder for me, but we found a solution as usually. This is not my first day in blogging, and I had a concept of what I was to deal with. So we resorted to our old friends from Expo Car Company. We dragged our car to the dealer, who usually dealt with Chinese cars, but agreed to help and even brought a special scanner. Today we will be able to find all the defects in this Range Rover and even have it evaluated by specialists. We were lucky, because we managed to reset defect, and now at least our bucket is driving. There are definitely problems in the engine, as the car is stalling from time to time. First of all, this is because sparkle is disappearing on all spark plugs. All of them? Yes, this may be caused by spark plugs themselves or by coordination problems with ignition module. Airflow sensor isn't working properly either. Is it showing inappropriate figures? It is showing something ridiculous. In fact, is it showing something that doesn't correlate with the reality? The airflow it represents is too high or too low. The two front lambdas are dead. It is recommended that you change everything now, or you may stall on the road at any moment. There are no guarantees that you will drive long and happily. So, any moment I drive my car on the road and stop it, I risk not starting it again easily. Yes, but if you don't stop, you may keep going even in emergency conditions. Moreover, wheel position sensor is inoperative, so it needs to be changed either. What then? Then you proceed to repairing other details. Except for all the stuff connected with the engine, the paintwork and suspension of the car were also tested. It turned out that everything was not this bad, correlating with the age of the car. Nothing demanding immediate change was noticed. There were one thing, to be honest, but I'll tell you about it in next episodes. You won't believe it. In fact, this is just something. Now we will keep driving, hoping one day we will change all the necessary details without resorting to evacuator services again. After driving for a while in the city, restoring my self-confidence and getting rid of the evacuator memories, I decided to move to the countryside. The moment you are on the road in this car, you understand that all trials you have had and will have to come through, all these taxes, details prices, and the full list of repair shops in St. Petersburg become insignificant. It is like you took exactly the pill you had been looking for. Now you are experiencing something that makes you forget about all disadvantages of this car, because the amount of fuss it lays down on itself makes you understand that was not in vain. Sitting in this car, you realize all you need is to reach 100 km per hour, while tachometer remains within 3000 rotations. Turn on cruise control, pull down this bolster, which importance you had never understood before, slightly put your legs on the floor and just drive. This chariot is burned to consume the road with such a rate that you don't even have time to think about how you get to your cottage or any other destination. Today I can consider myself as a guy who is used to drive cars for all the possible prices, with all possible comfort. Understanding that I am driving my own car for 415,000 rubles that gives me so many positive emotions, I can conclude shortly. Gentlemen, I am absolutely happy. Having reached the destination, we start doing what 90% of other owners do. We are bringing it to acceptable appearance. Without spending a lot of money, we try to remedy small defects, in other words, make it look better for the same price. Firstly, we are painting all splits with a nail varnish. There were not so little splits, by the way. Secondly, taking out the grandfather's briquette with paste, we are polishing back and front headlights and a footboard. Discs, as you know, constitute 90% of your car appearance. That's why another important thing is to make them glitter. There were many difficulties in our case, like old stickers left from previous dampers, plenty of tar, and grey dirty internal shelf, which is pretty wide because of wide discs. We needed to take them off and pour with kerosene. Then we tried to rub them with sponge like you usually do it with dish. By discs, as anticipated, had been made in China. That's why tar was removing with varnish.
В общем-то, для этого была куплена маленькая кисточка, по-моему, за 10 рублей, и пришлось все это подобно археологу вот этой кисточкой вот оттирать плавненько, так, чтобы этот гудрон слазил нежно.
This is an example of Range Rover constructors' way of thinking, a kind of box, some wires with tape, everything is in place, where you will never find water or salt. Everything is thought through and obviously doesn't work. Those constructors never use their heads.
Потому что ничем другим эти люди никогда не работали и даже не собирались.
An interesting moment about supporters and brake blocks. The part which is close to nave. Everything has rusted, it looks miserable. In order to paint it, we would probably need a balloon of red paint. But using red paint for this car is just vulgar. There used to be red Brembo supporters in this car, but currently there are small and poor one-piston BMW supporters. We decided to paint them in silver, so I resorted to an old and cheap tool, which is called aluminium paint. Firstly, aluminium paint is washed ashore by a brush, which helps to keep the supporter painted as long as possible. As a result, we get an appearance of a brand new wheels. For the record, brakes are pretty recent. We can't see rust anymore, and thus we get a feeling of a brand new car. I recommend this method to everybody. It takes you only half a day, but makes your feelings about the car different. In the context of so-called incorruptibility, we needed to do something with this glass holder. It is poured over with tea. It seemed to me pointless to use WD-40 as it is too stinky. It is good to know that our general sponsor, VMPAUTO, produces a lot of different lubricants called silicone. They may be used for different purposes, but their main advantage is that they don't have any odors and have a good infiltration capability. Silicone also consists of silicone, which makes our program more intimate, as some people say that we lack intimacy. So, we start pouring it into the glass holder and wait for miracle. Oh, thanks to VMP. Noteworthy that it doesn't have a kerosene odor, it smells like buttercups. It exhales fragrance. Awesome. Some interesting news, by the way. VMPAUTO starts a campaign that is called For Nothing. It is mainly oriented at diesel Range Rover owners of the last model years. If you are lucky to have one of them, don't miss the opportunity. Just go to the nearest repair shop and take a sample of your motor oil from the pan. If you find something that looks like shavings, get in touch with VMPAUTO. You can find all the necessary links under this video, and they will send you their eye magnet additive for free. What a goodwill gesture from VMPAUTO, which is ready to provide 100 bottles of eye magnet. If you are worried about your car condition, just take a sample, go to the VMPAUTO website, and don't worry about it anymore. Good luck. And again, the last take. It somehow differs from what I wanted it to be. While we were driving back to the city, the left headlight faded. It is xenon. I have tried everything. It lighted up a couple of times, and then finally faded, leaving a message on the dash. We can conclude that ignition block isn't working properly. Moreover, front parking sensor fell off the bumper, although it wasn't working initially. Also, the right back wheel started creaking and heating up more than others. Well, this car is definitely of a lux class. We will try to do something with it in our next episodes. You would probably ask me why I decided to buy this bucket. Well, I could buy a new Solaris, but it would be not so interesting to make videos about the car that nothing unusual happens with. So, we took Range Rover, and at least it is going to be a fun.
Не бойся, не проси. Складываешь 2 пальца. И перед началом каждого дела сходу вспоминаешь эти 3 правила. Но я тебе верю. А ты не верь.